Hey, good morning. Good morning. And wow, there's 11 of you. I can't even believe it, that are live with me right now. And Zoe just hopped up here. She's like, "Oh, we're live. Okay, let me get up here on the chair and say hi." So today is an unscheduled live, something I've thought about doing. And for those of you that are unaware, last week I shared a video on the thoughts of Carnival cruisers and myself, and this loyalty plan that they released, the rewards program as they call it. And anyway, it's bad. It's bad, right? It doesn't honor what people have earned, and people have been led to believe, it's been inferred for years, that if you got to diamond, you were diamond, right? If you got to platinum, you were platinum, and you would get the perks that were associated with it. And then Carnival had said that they were going to make a change to the loyalty program. And a lot of people thought, oh, well, they're going to do this and that. They're going to probably have to add a couple tiers because there's too many platinums and priority boarding. There's too many people to do priority boarding and things like that. So all of us content creators, we came up with our own ideas of, what would happen and, things like that. And nobody predicted it would be as bad is what it is. It's, I mean, most of you already know. I don't have to explain the program, but Carnival unveiled a program in which, starting June 2026, everybody, after a probationary period of either 2 years for every level except diamond, and then 6 years for diamond, would then have to earn their status by spending a lot of money. For example, the diamond, you have to spend a ton of money to maintain that status going forward after that. So people that have been cruising with Carnival for 30, 40 years, they're, if they don't spend enough money, too bad. Go back to red. You don't matter as much to us as you used to. That's what, I mean, that's the impression that I think people would get. And honestly, that is the impression people have gotten. And I can tell that from the thousands of comments I've gotten, on the varying videos. So today, although I've been rambling here for a couple minutes, I'm not going to do as much talking because I'm going to share those actual comments. Carnival, as we know, is watching, right? So just in case they're not reading the comments, I'm going to read the comments from you viewers that have commented on just the most recent video, because honestly, I'd be here for days if I, try to go through all the comments, right? So let me just pull up some comments here. And there are so many. But let's just start it off here. All right. Okay. So this one got 17 likes. It's from the Norrells. I may not get to see all of your videos anymore and not be able to be at your live videos due to crazy life happening, but I will always, all caps, be behind you, Coach. You are so right. And you always speak the truth from your heart, along with giving your perspective of things. I myself may not always agree with every single thing you say as well as others, but no one in their right minds that know you can really say anything negative about. You bring it on here from a common sense. Sorry, I'm reading this off my phone and it's the video playing in the background. You bring it on here from a common sense, basic standpoint of cruising. Keep doing what you do. I've been with you since the beginning, and I'll be with you as long as I can. Coach Cruise, the best. All right, then we have 2 Huskies to go, and I'm just scrolling down here. So as soon to be platinum cruiser, I looked over the benefits. To be honest, I don't think we use very many of them. This isn't about the benefits at all. It's the feeling of being demoted after all the years and cruises of being loyal to Carnival. It's truly a slap in the face. Cruising with them again would be like going back to an abusive ex. Happy cruising. Okay. Carnival, and John said I said some rough things about Carnival. Well, wait till you hear some more of these comments, Carnival, because if you thought I was a little tough on you, just wait to see here. John is feeling the heat. This is from Lisa I-2110. John is feeling the heat. They didn't expect the backlash they got from the trash rewards program. Keep speaking truth, coach. If you and so many others didn't speak up, nothing would have changed. I thank you for that, Lisa. And I replied to all of these comments. I'm just reading these that they're in the order of my phone showing up on the screen here. So these are in no particular order. But let me take a moment to say hi to all of you that checked in already, because I see there's 26 people here, and I thought there might be 6 because, again, this is totally unscheduled. I scheduled this 10 minutes before I actually went live, and here all of you are. I assume most people would be watching this on replay, but Mandy was the first to check in, and Mandy is a member of the Coach Cruise fam. So very cool, Mandy. Thank you for being the first. She got the gold medal. And then we got Danny Dizzle, the Fizzler Spectacular supporter, checking in on a Sunday morning. Good to see you again, Danny D. We got GTJ saying hey to everyone. So nice they had to say it twice. All right. Mike Clark is here. And Mike, did you change your name back? Because I think you did. Saying hi. We got Hot Tea in here once again. Good to see you as always. Esther Williams, welcome, welcome. Edmund Tim is in the house taking care of things. Good to see Edmund Tim as always. He's going to be rooting for the Steelers here later. And you see, I have not a Coach Cruise shirt on. I have my football team's jersey on. They play the Bears later today. So I got a lot of Bear friends, Bear fans, friends that are Bear fans. They're definitely rooting against my team today. Denise Gabney, good afternoon, Coach. Hope all is well. Mario Smith says, hi, Coach. We got Pretty Black Buckeye. Hi, Coach. You're the best. And oh, my goodness, look at this. Zoe's going to get a treat here. Zoe, come here. She is going to get a treat. And Pretty Black Buckeye, I am going to write you down. For those of you that are new to the channel, if you join my lives, let me make sure I get the full name in there. If you join my lives and you do a super chat, you get entered into a drawing. And right now I have, I'm going to try to pull it off here for you. Show you. Well, I have a big cooler bag. Right now there's I was trying to eat my breakfast before I started the show and stuff. So I got breakfast sitting on top of a couple shirts and bags. So it's got a whole mess over here. But it's a really big cooler. It's nice. It's collapsible, but it's good material and everything. So anyway, you are numbers 111 through 130. If by some chance we get 20 more in super chats this show, I'll do the drawing. And the thing is, the reason you're 111 through 130 is you carry over. So obviously we're never going to finish exactly on 150 a show. Sometimes we might do, 150 and then go to another show or whatever. But Zoe's getting anxious for a treat. So high five for Pretty Black Buckeye. What do you say? What do you say? She says thank you. And I thank you. All right. We got Will G checking in. Ken Lesko here is back. Good to see Will and Ken. Cruising is fun anytime. We got is here. Good to see them again. Melissa Bennett Garcia checking in from Facebook. What is up? Rebrown 8, hit the like button for Coach. I like your thinking, Rebrown, very much so. Thank you for that. Wendy Gonzalez is in the house, and I do believe she is quite the Raider fan. Hi, Coach. I got 62 more days to reach Diamond. So disappointed because I probably would have reached Diamond in 2 years. Now I'll have to start over. Boo. Tim said, and Tim, he's platinum as well. Steelers are playing already. The games are starting. Oh, that's right. I forgot they have a so the Steelers beat Minnesota. Oh, good for you, Tim. Okay, so Tim has a great rest of the day because his team already won. They beat the Minnesota Vikings 24-21 in Germany or something like that. That's why the game was early. So very cool. Let's see here. So I mean, the reason that I'm doing this video again is I want to share your comments because John actually gave me the idea. I mean, he didn't exclusively say, hey, you should do this, but he was saying I'm saying this stuff, right? it's not just me saying this. It's all of you. All of you, right? Because it's almost 100% across the board that thought this plan was crap. And you've been, you know, encouraging me, and you've done a good job, because it's made me want. You've been inspiring me, because it's made me want to keep discussing the topic, because I see, everybody's still so upset about this. Everybody that's platinum, that's gold, that's red, it's like, hey, I mean, you gave us the impression, you being Carnival, gave us the impression that, we were going to build up to this. And once we got it, we got it. And they never said anything like, other. Okay, I've been cruising with Carnival for over 10 years. And in this entire time, when they're talking about the loyalty plan, never, ever, not once, not by anybody, did I ever hear a suggestion of, well, this is what the current plan is. We might do a major change to it that not everybody is going to like or whatever. Never, ever. I mean, months leading up to this, the cruise directors and such were still saying, when this baby gets to be, 21 or whatever, they're already going to be platinum because they got, this many days or whatever. And it was implied that this was going to stay, that you were going to continue to receive perks for your status level. And then obviously Carnival pulled the rug out from under us. Now, they did do a service, and they gave Diamond their loyalty for forever now. And that's what they should have done from the start. But what we're fighting for now is for everybody else, right? The platinum, the gold, everybody else to say, hey, you gave me the impression that I was earning this and I was going to keep moving forward. And again, I understand Carnival's a business. They're all about making money. But you did give people that impression. So you have to make it right. And what is going to change Carnival's mind, unfortunately, probably isn't so much the comments as it is the dollar signs. And it's my belief that their bookings are down, which is why they're implementing this Diamond Dash, trying to tell people, oh, we'll give you 2 or 3 times the days if you hurry up and book a cruise, book it for February or so, before February, because I think that's when their bookings are weak, right? And they probably, in the spring and summer months, have a lot more bookings filled up. So that's why they say only through February. At least, again, that's my opinion, because John got mad at me talking about speculative. So yes, this is just an opinion, John, in case you're watching again. So let's get back with the comments here. All right. And let's see. And speaking of comments, I want to read some more of you. If you just checked in, Cameron Crawford is here. Esther Williams. I want to make sure. I think I got everybody. All right. Pretty Black Bucket says, I have less than 51 days to Diamond, and I'm beyond disappointed and disgusted. By the time I take my last cruise, it will be in the 47 days. They have to do something for us. It's just not right. And Pretty Black Buckeye, yep. And again, that's why I'm on here right now. We got Frankie Floyd checking in. We got Sherry Lynn Bell checking in. I thought you were on the boat today, Sherry, and she's been sharing some Facebook posts. They have been enjoying the water a lot lately, but it's great to see you on here, Sherry. So let's get back to the comments. And again, from the to John Healed from Coach Cruise, okay? And the thing I haven't mentioned yet about that particular video is so many people just love John. And John is a great guy, and I said that I'm a fan of him. I got the John Healed duck right here behind me, for goodness sake. So I've been a John Healed fan. And, he suggested that I said, he included me in the all, that he doesn't care about his cruisers. And anybody that knows John and has seen John knows that he cares, okay? And most of us realize and understand that he is in a position where he is a speaker for Carnival. They give him the message and they say, okay, Ambassador, here's our message. Go read it. Go make people accept it. And he does his best to pass along the Carnival message. Some of the messages are easier to share than others, and he has to put his spin on it and try to make people think it's okay. And obviously, people don't think this is okay. And that's why they've received so much heat. What I don't understand is why, as a loyal cruiser myself, why he would be upset about me not liking the plan, just like so many others, except I guess my voice is magnified and has a larger platform than many of you. So that, again, that's why I'm reading your comments here. So speaking of that, let's get back to it. Okay, so this one is from Denise Smith. She says, nothing, all caps, will ever be the same on a Carnival cruise. I think it's a fair statement that thousands and thousands of loyal cruisers have felt slapped in the face initially, and even after the walk back, grandfathering diamonds, the cringeworthy videos they still play at the Diamond Platinum parties are 100% insulting, adding salt to the wounds, because everything said in those loyalty videos now mean zip, unless you spend the required amount of money, of course, and that's in parentheses. I can't see Carnival recovering from this ever. People are beyond hurt. Will they still cruise Carnival? Yes, many will, but, all caps, the bad taste will never, all caps, go away. It will continue to be talked about over and over and over again, and sadly, the crew members aboard these ships are the ones that will take the heat when they clearly have no input or stance to make anything change. Horrible last several months for many people struggling through the entire backlash, I believe, is unfixable now. Even if they scrap the entire program, which they won't, in parentheses, Carnival will forever have a tarnished reputation. Makes me very sad. And that is from Denise Smith. Next one is Jen Reed. She says, great video, mad respect for you putting this out there. From a family of 5 platinums sailing for 17 years, we are very sad and hurt by losing our status. I really hope that maybe they'll give us another look and change their minds. If not, it might be time for us to start looking around. After June 2028, when we lose our status, our kids will probably all be out of the house by that point. And so what's holding us back? I want Carnival to step up and show us that we should stay. But if we have other options and options for different deals, better deals, we're going to try it. There's no reason for us to stay now, because there's no way that we could ever spend that much to keep our status. And status isn't everything. I get that. But you gave us that status, and now we enjoy that status. And we've been talking points of that status while we're cruising with other people. And to take that away, that's a kick in the face. We were so loyal to you, and this is not loyalty to us. Heartbroken! Exclamation point. All right, another great comment there, and you see just how much people, are upset by this. Here's from JB, and JB is a Carnival or a Coach Cruise member. He says, "Well said, good self-control, Coach. Leave it there." All right, good quick comment by JB. Appreciate that one. We have Mitch Rayhan 5850. So they say, if they are offering 2 times and 3 times VIFP points to help get people to Diamond, isn't that bunking the argument there are too many Platinum? Then this act will create too many Diamonds. They are insulting my intelligence. And valid point. Okay. Shannon Campbell, 2017. 4 days ago, she left this. She says, all right, I assume it's a she. It could be a he. You are not wrong, Coach. Platinum Cruiser here. No longer important to Carnival. Yesterday, I canceled a 15-day Panama Canal cruise that we were supposed to take in January 2026. I was starting to book longer cruises because I was hoping to make Diamond in a few more years. Lost my $400 deposit. So this person sacrificed $400 just to cancel it. That's how upset they are with what Carnival has done, that they would rather lose $400 than continue to cruise with Carnival. And that speaks volumes right there. They said, in regard, lost my $400 deposit. Oh, well. Yesterday, I also sent MSC a status match request. Might do the same with Virgin. Am I done with Carnival? I'm not sure yet. I get some pretty, I get some pretty great offers from the casino, and I might still book some of those great offers. Maybe the casino from MSC or Virgin might offer me some great offers too. And my guess cruise lines do. They know that's where they make their money. So, yeah. This one is from Dennis D. Busk. Carnival is listening to comments from cruise people, so let's see what they decide. Do they want to keep all the platinum guests or not? Because if something doesn't change, they are losing a lot of people, and that is 100% true. We got Rodney Hardy, 2527. We are behind you 100%, Coach. Thanks for being a loudspeaker for all of us. Greed has taken over, and we can all plainly see it. I think it's going to take a hit to their pockets for them to realize what they have done. Have never been on another cruise line for over 30 years, and this is the loyalty they show us. Well, I myself think they have a surprise coming. Thanks for all you do. 28 cruises with Carnival, 42 days from Diamond. Well said, Rodney. All right. Here is Bart Stringer. Says, thanks, Coach. Great video. I'm a very long-time cruiser. My first cruise with Carnival was in 1982. I've sailed on 2 of the original 3 ships. I've been loyal to the brand for all these years. All my cruises have been paid as full price fare, not a full price fare, not casino deals as most of the Platinum or Diamond cruisers. With this new rewards program, and that I will need to reacquire my status every 2 years by spending a bunch of dollar signs he posted of dollars, is god awful slap in the face about being loyal to their cruisers anymore. It's about making a profit. Yeah, can't argue with that. Next one, Yolanda Ruffin Enos. Hi, Coach. I agree with you 100%. Nothing was wrong with the video that you put out as far as Carnival throwing away their customers like yesterday's trash. Myself and my husband have been cruising for over 20 years, faithful for it to be disregarded just like that for not spending enough money is very disturbing. It makes you second guess the loyalty that we've had and other loyal Carnival cruisers have had. Hopefully they will decide to push forward and make Platinum lifelong. Thank you for keeping us updated with cruise news. You're doing a great job. Thank you for that, Yolanda. Next comment is from Tacoma John. My wife and I are both Platinum. We've been loyal to Carnival and only Carnival since 2008, which was our first cruise and our honeymoon. We've spent thousands and thousands of dollars being loyal to Carnival, yet we're being tossed out like we're nothing. We have one cruise in a few weeks and then a back-to-back in April, both on Carnival. If something doesn't change, we will probably look somewhere else. They told us our loyalty doesn't matter to them anymore, so it won't matter to us. And that's quite a point. Next one we have is Marianne McGee, 2724. I'm with you, Coach, and also love John Healed. I have never heard you mention him in a bad way. Only the Beards who created this terrible new rewards program. I also hope you and John get to talk it out, since he needs to realize how fair you actually are. And Marianne, I really appreciate that. And John, if you're watching this video too, I am. I mean, I agree with Marianne. I have loved Carnival. I've loved cruising Carnival, as you say all the time. Talking to John here now. I think the crew is amazing. I can't envision a crew across the fleet being any better than the crew on Carnival. I've made good friends with so many, some of them dear friends. And, I mean, there's so many times I've gotten on a ship and haven't seen a crew member in a year or two. And, it's hugs and, big smiles and all of that. And, us catching up. And it's just really great. And so, yes, she is, Marianne is 100% correct. When I'm addressing Carnival in a negative way, I'm addressing the Beards, the ones who created this terrible, terrible plan. and terrible is probably an understatement. And judging by all these comments, you can certainly see that that's pretty much the way everybody feels. And John probably knows better than anybody because he's being sent all these comments. But he also is, obviously loyal to Carnival. I mean, that's where he's made his living in his career. So it's probably, I understand, troublesome and bothersome that he has to hear somebody like myself saying, what a crap job Carnival has done. But it's in regards to this plan. It's to nothing else. So that's what we're trying to fix. And hopefully he understands that, and we can meet sometime, and he could be like, okay, yeah, everybody says you're a great guy, and you're fair, and this and that, and we can come to some kind of, I don't know, friendship, or have a drink, or something like that. So I hope that's the case. But if it's not, I would rather be shown. From Marvin, very short one, said Marvin Lewis 4148. You have spoken on our behalf, and we all appreciate that. And thank you for that comment, Marvin. Next one we have is Trooper Kiki, 14 cruises, but I'm looking at other cruise lines now. Have considered myself loyal to Carnival until this new rewards program came out. Just not worth my money to continue to cruise with a line who doesn't value my loyalty anymore. So I'm 100% with you, Coach, and agree with everything you've said. And Trooper, thank you so much for that. And here's the other thing with John, and I alluded to this a little bit earlier. I don't know if I finished my point. I was a little worried because I know how many people love John, and I thought once John put me on blast, I was fearing, John Healed fans would come on and just, without even watching me or seeing, what it was that I was talking about that John was referring to, was just going to blast me and say negative things about me and the channel because John said I was, YouTubers that supposedly wasn't being fair with Carnival. And that's why I did the reply to John and basically calling him out, saying, no, that wasn't accurate. And as many of you know, it wasn't. So, I appreciate all the support. And the crazy thing is, if you look through these comments, I've been reading them straight down. Some of them are from 4 days ago, some of them 2 days ago, some of them 1 day ago, but it's just how they're showing up on my phone here. And I haven't come to one yet, not one. And I don't even know if there is one. It's virtually 100% or is 100% that is all in support of what I'm saying in an agreement that Carnival has screwed this up. And, so for Carnival to say like I'm making stuff up or I'm suggesting that Carnival and this and that and whatever, and saying bad things about Carnival, I'm saying bad things about the planet, as all of you are. And again, this is, I'm reading, this is from cruisers like yourself that feel this way. And so if I just say the same type of thing, but it's come out of my mouth, it's, why should it be perceived as anything worse from Carnival? I don't understand that. If Carnival truly to have YouTubers like myself speak, then we can't speak all the stuff that everything is just great, right? We can't be a John Healed. We can't be like John Healed and just speak glowingly of Carnival for anything and everything they do, because then you wouldn't watch. You'd be like, oh, this guy, he's just, all he does is 100% Carnival. That's all he. And I will say, to a fault, I've probably been way to the side of positive Carnival over the years, and maybe too much so. So the one time, the one or two times, I shouldn't say one time, there's been a couple times now that I say something and I call Carnival out for something. That's the only time they get upset. They don't say peep about me until I say something that doesn't put them in the best light. And, I think that's wrong on their part. One time, one of their media members called me out and said I was lying about something. And I said, no, I wasn't. I don't lie. And then I proceeded to send him the information that showed that I wasn't lying about anything. That's the the impression I got, and I gave him the material to show that no, I wasn't lying about anything. And again, as far as opinions go, I've said some stuff. Is it true? Is it not true? I mean, I think their bookings are probably down for down from upcoming bookings, bookings that were already in place. Obviously, most of those aren't going to go away unless you have somebody that's willing to pay the the cancellation fee, as one person did already, drop $400 just to cancel with Carnival. So it is what it is. But there's an earnings report on Monday, and if they forecast that their earnings are down in the coming quarters, I think that's when we have a possibility of seeing them grandfather platinum. And if they're going to grandfather platinum, they might as well grandfather gold and red to say, okay, everybody counts. And you can still do the rewards program. You can still have these two be hand in hand, because they've watered down the perks on the loyalty program so much that you're only getting a couple good things. Like for Diamond, you still have the priority boarding, and then you have laundry. Those are the only two things that I think anybody even cares about. I buy the Cheers program, so the 2 free drinks they give me are absolutely worthless. I can't use them. The only place I'd be able to use them is if I go out of Texas, because that first day, and that's if they allow me to use it on the first day. I forget whether they say you can use those at any time or not. But if then that would come in handy, because the Cheers program doesn't kick in until the second day. But outside of there, and I think New York it is, those wouldn't matter too much. All right, let me get to some of your comments from the live viewers. I'm going to scroll back up here. And Pretty Black Buckeye, I want to thank you again for that super chat. Normally I do a shot when anybody does a $15 super chat or more, but it is morning, and this is going to be my first sip of coffee. So Pretty Black Buckeye, this is for you, and thank you again for that super chat. I will say that I have Bailey's. Yes, I got Bailey's in there now. So there is some alcohol in there. So, all right. Sherry got back from our cruise on the 12th, rested up. We've been out on the water and our boat. We leave on October 18th for another cruise. It's a casino offer, all adults. Very nice. Oh, okay. Yeah, and that'll be fun. I'm interested to see that one. I've had people ask you, like, oh, you should get on this one, coach, or whatever. Those of you who don't know, I'm a high school teacher, and so I can only cruise when school is not in session. So, like Thanksgiving, I'm going on a cruise. I'll be on the Miracle over Thanksgiving. New Year's Eve, I'm going to be on the Venezia. Spring break, I'm scheduled for the Mardi Gras. And I have an announcement, and for all of you who are here, see, this is why you pop in on these unscheduled lives here. I have booked my first non-Carnival cruise in probably over 10 years. I've been cruising exclusively Carnival for forever, so long that I'll have to look back to see how long it's been since I've been on another cruise line. In large part, because of this, not in defiance or anything like that, but it's just so many people have been talking about going to other cruise lines and how great some of these other cruise lines are and how you can get a great deal with them, this and that it got me thinking. And again, this is Carnival's fault. Once you have that brand loyalty, you hold on to it. You hold on to it tightly. What has given you that brand loyalty? Okay, whatever we've done to get the brand loyalty so far, we have to keep that clinched, Maybe we add something to it. Maybe we take a little something away from it, but we keep a stronghold on that. And what they did by not giving loyalty and allowing people to earn their status is they just completely let go. They completely let go of that brand loyalty that any smart company knows you never let go of. You never let go of brand loyalty. And once you have a customer that is loyal to your brand, you do anything and everything to keep that brand loyalty. And for some reason, they got convinced by some moron or morons that this rewards program and stripping everybody of their statuses after a probationary period and then making them re-earn a status that they had already earned was the right. Like, I wish I could have been a fly on the wall to hear or see who the idiotic beards were that signed off and said, that's a good idea. I just want to see who that was. I wish they would come out and say, yeah, I was the one that said this was a great idea. So stupid. I mean, so stupid. It's the rewards program. I really feel like that can turn out to be okay. And by the rewards program, I'm not saying them taking away the earned statuses. What I'm talking about is when people spend money. Because I mean, some people spend a lot of money on their cruises, right? And I mean, if somebody goes and spends $5,000 extra than me, why should they get the exact same perks, the exact same rewards, if you want to call it? Why should they get the exact same? Shouldn't they get something a little bit more for spending an extra $5,000? And that's what the rewards program is set up to do, which I totally understand that. I understand that. But the status and the little bit of perks that you've earned, that's for a lifetime. And that's for, we're always going to, treasure your loyalty and remind you that we appreciate the loyalty you've given us for so many years. So this is yours forever. This is yours forever. Now, if you go and you spend some extra money, if you treat yourself in the spa, if you go and you lose some money in the casino, if you buy some, restaurant, we're going to give you some extra points and stuff that you can trade in to get some more stuff if you would like. Now, to me, doesn't that sound great? Like, why couldn't they have just kept everything and said, look, they could have said something like, look, we've watered down, and that's what they did anyway. They did this anyway, perks program anyway, under the old status. They watered that down. And then they said they were going to take it away after they watered it down. You've watered it down so much, Carnival, that it's like, why would people want to spend? And so many people have made this comment. Why would people want to spend all of that money to maintain a status where the best thing that you're getting is you get to check in a couple days earlier than everybody else. So you might get to board the ship a little earlier, and then you get a few bags of free laundry. That's the best that you get. So why are people going to spend $40,000, $50,000 with because I want to be diamond? That free laundry and boarding a little bit earlier is so important to me. People aren't going to spend the money for that. If they're going to spend that money, it's just going to be because they were going to spend it anyway. It's not going to be because they want to stay diamond or be diamond or whatever. So, as many people have said, it's a slap in the face, it's a kick in the face, it's, whatever. That's what it is, especially when you're hardly giving anything anyway. You just give that to people, Carmen. You just give it to them, okay? And I get the priority boarding thing, for platinum members. If that becomes such a problem, which I know it's becoming a problem, but if there continues to be too many platinums, you add a tier. And that's what people said you should have done in the first place. I was one of those people that said you should have a tier or two, but probably a tier in between platinum and diamond, and then maybe a tier after diamond, right? For the hardcore, loyal cruisers that have gone 300 or more days or 400 or more days or something like that. And then you could do something next, but I don't know. So I'm talking too much because this is supposed to be comments from you. So I'm going to quit talking and let's see here. Cameron Crawford, we keep getting told the fun and crew that we love will stay the same. Yes, this is true, but we also want to feel recognized, not just how much cash we're spending. Cameron Crawford, absolutely agree with that. Emerald Coast Cruiser, Frankie Floyd, a.k.a. I'm not a fan of new changes, but won't stop us from cruising with Carnival. And you know what? And I definitely know Carnival appreciates that. And, you know, I appreciate that you're not a fan of the new changes. And obviously, I haven't canceled the cruises that I had booked. I did just mention that I booked another line, and that hasn't happened. So, you know, Venture Cast, hey, coach, I took advantage of the 3 times offer and booked the Carnival Legend next month that will get me to Platinum, which was a goal I had. I won't get to enjoy it for very long, though. Well, Venture Cast, I'm hoping you will get to do it. And that's one of the reasons why I'm doing a video like this, is to share comments from all of you, you know, that are very disappointed in this plan. And hopefully, with enough heat and enough pressure from all their loyal cruisers, they'll think twice about it. The Duckman, your video is choppy. I apologize for that. Yeah, the Wi-Fi, and I jinxed myself. Somebody just said, "Hey, did you call about that Wi-Fi?" And I said, "Well, it's been acting better lately." And then you just said it's choppy now. So I don't see the little Wi-Fi signal on there. Usually, when I can see the Wi-Fi signal, that's when I know that the Wi-Fi is not working, you know, as good as it could be. But it's not even on the screen now. So hopefully, I'm coming through okay. That was at 12:02. So a lot of you. Hopefully it's working good now. All right, Roger Calkins. Wow, I also canceled a 16-day Panama Canal transit and a 10-day Alaskan back-to-back. I booked with Royal and NCL. There you go. There you go, Carnival. Are you listening? Can you hear us now? Can you hear us now, Carnival? People are canceling cruises and booking with other lines because they don't like this loyalty plan. And it's costing you next to nothing. Why are you waiting? Change the plan back, tweak it a little bit. Just tell everybody what you've earned. Swallow your pride, swallow your ego, and just take care of this before you lose even more customers. All right. We got Rebrown 8. I'm gold, 2 cruises away from Platinum. I'll focus on Royal. Currently Emerald and NCL, currently Platinum, both loyalty. Rebrown, did I read your comment? Or maybe you were just in the comments of this earlier, but I thought I read your comment. If you read that one that was to the Dear John Healed. Sheila McKinney, just turned Platinum, worked hard and long for it, feel like I have been screwed. If they're worried about priority boarding, then quit selling them. Pat Hartman, hello. Eagles score on a blocked punt. So Reed Brown, I guess, is an Eagles fan. The Duckman. I look forward to moving up, but I think my booking in April will be my last. At least I made it to gold. And there you go. There's another one, Carnival. I mean, people are just flat out leaving, saying goodbye forever. I mean, that's what you've done with this plan, this rewards plan, in which you made people not very important. Remember when we were very important, fun people? Notice how they kind of are not including that VI anymore, very important, because if you were very important, then they wouldn't have said you have to re-earn your status, right? So the VIFP went away for rewards. Even though you are still very important, if they want to make money, they got rid of that. Rebrown, Carnival has screwed this up. They need to walk this back completely. Status should be permanent, and they should adjust tier level benefits. I agree. David, we love Carnival, the crew, our cruise planner, and everyone that we came into contact with are always wonderful. Absolutely hate the new plan. If they don't change it, we won't be back. And again, yes, agreed. I mean, I have cruises booked with Carnival, and I'm one of these that, again, I love the cruise so much. It's like I just have to kind of, and my time that I've had in Carnival has been so great. I just have to kind of bite my lip because I don't want to say like, oh, I'm never going to do Carnival again or anything like that. Because again, I made so many friends and have so many friendships. I would hate to be in a position where I said, oh, I'm just never going to go back. Then I'm, not seeing some of the people I've had so much fun with and everything. So, but I do understand those of you that are saying that. And again, I just booked another cruise line, just to try it out. I'm waiting to share who that was with and when it will be, but it will be sometime soon. I will announce who that cruise line is and who they are with. I didn't pick them like most cruises I do. I picked it because of value. It wasn't because like, oh, I thought this one was going to be the best or whatever. I'd heard some good things. It wasn't going to book a cruise line that I heard bad things with. Heard some good things, and I got a great value. And again, as a teacher, that I don't make a ton of money. That's usually how I pick my cruises. That's one of the reasons I booked Carnival for so long, as I was getting some great deals. So sorry about the reception. I see another comment there. Mike says this could just be a rumor, but I heard Carnival hired someone from Delta and they're in charge of the new program. Yeah, I'd heard something to that effect as well. The thing is, that is dumb to me also. We talked about this on the last live show. An airline is much different than a cruise line. An airline probably has more business travelers than it does leisure travelers. Whereas a cruise line is almost strictly leisure travelers. So they are apples and oranges by comparison. Obviously, the airlines has reward program and miles and this and that, but they are not comparable. They are so different from one another. Okay. And so to say like, you're going to bring an airline person in here and then think that you're the same, you're not. You're not even close to the same. So why would you do that? And because they've done that, this is the position they put themselves in. This is what you get for trying to think of yourself as an airline when you make a rewards program or a loyalty program. Okay, there's been a lot of comments here. Let me just say, Roger Everett is here. We got Carl Hamilton, grade 8. I just want to say hi, and I want to get back to reading the comments from this most. But I think I've mentioned everybody. Patricia is here, so hello to everybody again. Thank you for checking, and I see there's still 47 of you on here. But let's get back to some of these comments here. All right, this one's from Craig Hogard, and he says, I try and watch all of your vlogs, and I've never heard you say anything negative about John. I have seen you stand up for him. For John to refer to you in his video just shows that your messages has gotten back to the Beards, or should I say our message? Yes, you should say our message. You are graciously using your platform to relay our feelings about Carnival's horrible rewards plan. I feel that John knows it's horrible, but there isn't anything he can do but pass on the message. He's just doing his job. Keep up the good fight, Coach, and thank you for standing up for us. And it is absolutely my pleasure to stand shoulder to shoulder because it is our fight, right? We are trying to get something that changed for everyone that it has wronged, and it wronged everybody initially. And now it's wronged everybody but the Diamonds. And even though I'm Diamond, I can recognize that it's wrong. And as somebody that has a platform like this and a cruise content creator, and here's the other thing, a couple people have mentioned this too. Well, more than a couple people. I don't sell travel, not yet anyway. That might be a plan for the future, but I'm not a travel agent, so I don't sell Carnival Cruises. So I don't have to be, I can be as blunt as I want, and I can just straight call them out. And if I think something's stupid, I'm going to call it stupid. This plan is stupid. Okay. And I can say that now. If I was selling cruises for Carnival and they were giving me a cut of every cruise I sold, then I might, I might say something like, well, there's a lot of people that don't like this. which is what some content creators have done, that, sell cruises. And I get that. I mean, like I said, I'm not saying I wouldn't do the same thing if I was in their shoes, but that's one of the better things about me, again, not being a travel agent, content creator, is that I can speak freely and not have to worry so much about, if Carnival says, oh, you thought this, huh? Well, guess what? You're not selling our cruises anymore. And then they get stung. So I get that. And I wouldn't be too upset about them because, again, they're trying to make a living. So you can't blame them for being a little more careful than I'm being. All right. This one is Loved Friend 2020. Coach, you're 100% right. And Carnival needs to fix things fast. I am gold, and I know it's not as far as the top. Yeah, but I worked hard to be gold, and Carnival is throwing me off the ship and doing what they have done with me and others. It's very sad. Yes, I agree. Joe T is the next one. From my perspective, CCL made a mistake regarding loyalty and is compounding it by their lack of understanding of brand loyalty. CCL is now saying a diamond with 200 days is loyal, and a platinum with 190 days isn't. Good point. Yeah. So somebody with 10 days less is not as loyal as somebody. Yeah, that doesn't make sense. I agree. Well said. Okay, this one is from NAC 2372. As a platinum cruiser with Carnival, I felt slapping in the face again and again. MSC or Royal in 2026. And yeah, again, somebody else that feels like they've been slapped in the face by Carnival. This one is from Drake's Mom, 1031. We made a very difficult decision to take the shot during COVID only because we wanted to cruise with Carnival. We are platinum with no chance of making diamond. We are not wealthy, but spend our hard-earned money to cruise with Carnival twice each year. I do feel that Carnival is doing us wrong. The rewards, in parentheses, program, the rewards part of the program seems good. The VIFP levels are not. All that was needed was a restructuring. They could have added a level or two and redistributed the perks they already had. Instead of priority boarding, early check-in for Diamond 4 days earlier and Platinum 2 days earlier, or the top two tiers. You pick your boarding time and stick with that time frame. Maybe the gifts are only the top tier. The most loyal guests are not the ones that can afford to spend that much money. The most loyal guests spend money that they struggled to earn. And I love that last sentence, the way that they, in the last couple sentences, the most loyal guests are not the ones that can afford to spend that much money. The most loyal guests spend money they struggled to earn. And that is so true, because so many of you for years have been loyal to Carnival. You don't have a lot of extra money, but the extra money that you do have, you look forward to taking a cruise. And who do you choose? You chose Carnival. And you did it again and again and again and again. And you were led to believe that you were very important, and that they were going to show how important you were by once you made it up the ranks, made it up the steps of loyalty. When you went from red to gold, they're going to show how much more they appreciated you. When you made it from gold to platinum, they were really going to show how much more they appreciated your loyalty. And then platinum to diamond, and so on and so forth. And then they said, nope, we're taking that back. Now you got to restart again and earn it all over again. Everything we suggested, just forget about it. This is what we're going to do now. And so, again, so wrong. And sorry, not sorry for saying the things I've said in regards to the plan about Carnival and the beards and whatever morons or idiots created this plan. Yes, I'm calling you morons or idiots. You may not be a moron or an idiot. I'm not saying that you are for every other part of your life, but the moment you signed off on this plan, the plan itself is idiotic. So again, the people that are beards that made themselves all the way up to the high table, obviously they're intelligent enough and they've done a lot of good things in their life, and everybody makes some really bad mistakes in life. And this just happens to be one of yours, Beards. Yeah, again, you might be great people, otherwise, might be very charitable, might be the type of person we want to sit down and have a nice long conversation with and everything else like this. But this is one of your big mistakes in life. You screwed this up royally for a lot of people, a lot of really, really great people. I mean, great people, and that were loyal to you. You failed them. You failed them horribly. And now fix it. The great thing is you can fix it. For some of them, they've already left you and they said they'll never come back. But maybe they will. Maybe they will. But for others that have just canceled cruises and started booking other lines, maybe you can fix it to the point where they look back and say, you know what, I've always loved Carnival. Okay, I know I already booked these other 2 cruises, but we're going to come back. We're going to come back because Carnival made it right. And that's one thing I will say about Carnival. I have had a few, I mean, as you can imagine, after taking 50 plus cruises, I have had a couple things that Carnival failed on, to me personally while I was on a cruise. And you know what? They made it right. They had a system where they made it right, and sometimes better than right. So why can't the Beards do that? I feel like the Beards can make this right and make it better than right, even if they really wanted to. But the thing is, it seems like they're blinded by dollar signs now. And that's the frustrating part for a lot of us, is it seems like every decision they're making is because they're blinded by dollar signs. Even this last tweak was a slap in the face to so many, because again, it seemed like they're blinded by dollar signs. Like, okay, we're going to do this for Diamond, and we're going to since Diamond is forever, we're going to offer this 2 and 3 times points to try to get everybody to try to be Diamond, right? And try to book a bunch of cruises to make money in the short term. But by doing that, you've slapped everybody in the face that is below Diamond. Again, who's making these decisions? Who do you think? I mean, what do you think the reaction was going to be? Like, what are you doing? What are you doing? And again, I've offered my consultation, which I'm sure they're like, really, sure, like I'll never get that phone call. But if they want to make sure something they're going to turn out is going to be accepted, call somebody like myself or one of the thousands of people in the comments that, over all these videos that I've done, and say, hey, look, we know that you're one of the people that were very upset about the plan and everything. Here's what we have in store. This is what we're thinking about doing. What do you think about this? Do you think everybody or most of the loyal cruisers will be happy with this? And, if you talk to a bunch of loyal cruisers like myself or whatever that are actually loyal, that are going on the cruises all the time, then we'll say, you know what, people would like that. Or no, you're being cheap again. I know you're a business and everything, but you're being too cheap. They need a little bit more. We'll say, no, you got to throw a little more sugar on it. You got to throw a little more sugar on it. And you would stop coming out with these ridiculous plans that keep offending people. Stop doing it. Okay. Stop trying to see what you can get away with to make it tolerable for everybody, and come out with a plan or a change to this plan that everybody's going to be like, oh, okay, yes, finally, you fixed it. Okay, do that. Here I am talking again. Sorry, can't help myself. All right, let's get back to the comments. And here we got somebody, Mike is in the comments, and he's in this comment too. Mike Clark, this is you. Coach, I think you are spot on with your stance regarding Carnival. The reason I started watching your channel is because you are not a Carnival hater like so many others. I'm sorry you were called out by John, and after watching a lot of your videos, I feel he was wrong to do so. With that being said, I would like to thank you for standing up for us platinum people that don't have a platform like you do. Always remember, you're never wrong for doing the right thing. And Mike, I absolutely appreciate that, and thank you for that comment. Next one is Jeffrey Ellis. As a lifetime Carnival passenger cruising 2 to 4 times a year, I'm greatly disappointed that my platinum status will be taken away in 2028. We are currently looking at other lines. I mean, if Carnival isn't loyal, then why are we? Keep up the great content, Coach. Next one is DRZJ4. OD. Royal Caribbean is getting my next cruise because Carnival put a Duffy in my back. A Duffy is a dagger in the back of its loyal customers. I like the clever use of words there. I honestly, I mean, I know Christine Duffy's the CEO. I just feel like she has a seat at the high table. I envision the high table being a big board room with a big long table that has about 20 people sitting at it. And I feel like Christine Duffy is just one of those seats. I feel like there's foreign investors that have a large say in what gets released. And I think Christine Duffy is similar to John in a way. She has to take on the face of Carnival and share, you know, what they're doing like it's her own choice. But that's what a CEO does. And as I've said before, if you want to put 2 commas in the salary that you're giving me, I'll say about anything you want me to say too. So again, if we were to ask her straight up right now, if she came on the channel right now, she would say, "Oh no, I said this or whatever." But again, knowing her salary and everything, there's probably a lot she wouldn't say, right? So I mean, she could, in the boardroom behind closed doors, she can say, "Hey, you know, I think this is a dumb idea. I don't think, you know, the cruisers are going to like this, whatever." But if 15 other people are saying, "No, we need more money, we need more money, we need more money, we're going to go with this," then she's outvoted and you get what you get. And then she has to put a smile on her face and say, "This is great," and then try to sell it to us. I don't know. I could be wrong. She might be, you know, the type that is just looking at the dollar signs also and figuring this is the way we could do it. But I don't know. All right. We are an hour in and there's 50 of you. We started, and this is unscheduled. So I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to read 10 more comments and then I'm going to, you know, we'll get on with our Sundays or whatever. I honestly didn't think there would be this big a reception. I thought a lot of people would be watching this on replay. So let me go through 10 more here. Okay, we got Donna B. I'm 59 points away from Diamond and husband is 62 points away. We looked at trying to get to Diamond, but since we only got the 2 times offer, it would be hard for us to do by June 2026. It would take us 6 cruises and only 4 can be at 2 times points. Yes, Diamonds are forever, but if Carnival gave us at least 1 more year at the end of 2026, we could make it. After all the calculations, we decided to ride out our platinum status. Yeah, and that I've seen several people say that too, is that they're going to wait till their statuses run out. Honestly, I don't think it's going to get to that. I really believe that there's been so many people leaving Carnival and so many cancellations and so many people booking with other cruise lines. I really feel like this is going to start to sting or hurt Carnival so much that they just concede and say, "Okay, we're sorry. We're putting it all back, or we're changing this and doing something that makes everybody kind of like stop canceling and stop booking other cruise lines." Okay, the last 10, that was the first of the last 10. I'm going to try to scroll through here and see ones that have at least 10 likes or more. Well, we'll say five or more. This one has 7 likes. I respect and enjoy Carnival, but unless something changes, we are done. I've already emailed my PVP at Carnival and thanked her for all her help throughout the years getting platinum. Already booked other lines. And there you go. I mean, they've basically called their rep and said, "Hey, thanks for all the great service over the years, but we're going somewhere else." This one, Cruise Crazy. Excellent speech. I think that Healed owes you a sincere apology. That's got 11 likes, but I won't count that as one because that's just a shorter one, and that wasn't really the type of comment that is directed at Carnival. Okay, here's one. I too respect John Healed, and I absolutely wouldn't want to be in his shoes, having to defend the huge cluster, you know what, that is the new Carnival Rewards program. But with that being said, Coach Cruise is 100% on point concerning what several thousands of your most loyal cruisers think about this new program. It is designed to turn away from loyalty towards its most loyal customers and move to a rewards program that is focused on only making Carnival Corporation the true winner. I'm happy that at least they decided to do the right thing by the Diamonds, but Carnival needs to realize that not only are they destroying their Carnival brand, but they are also affecting their Princess brand too. I am currently booked on the new Star Princess for January, but since the latest announcement from Carnival, I'm about to cancel and replace it with another brand outside of the Carnival Corporation. What really sits badly for me is when Carnival had the nerve to say that the massive amount of us platinum guests are a problem for them. So I will kindly help them out by getting out of their way. And then they put an emoji that's crying. That was from Cornelius Davis. And wow, that was a strong, strong comment there. Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, when you're canceling on a brand that Carnival owns, not even Carnival, the brand, but Princess, who's owned by Carnival, you're really making a statement. So let me just scroll through here. Again, here's one great video. I'm platinum with 168 days cruise. Just went on my 25th cruise. I do feel it's very unfair what they're doing. Who can I email or call about this? Well, John Healed, somebody you can email, and then customer care for Carnival Cruise Lines. There are so many comments I'm scrolling with. I'm just trying to find a few. Some were left recently, and so they don't have as many likes. I'm trying to get to some of the older ones. And then there's a couple that I haven't even responded to, and I apologize for that. There's been just so many comments. Okay, let me do 5 more, and these will just be random ones because I think I've done at least 5. Okay, this one's from Rusty White 3 days ago. First, I wanted to say I respect and appreciate you, Coach, and John for what y'all do. But John was wrong for calling you out. You have said nothing that isn't fair. You have said nothing that isn't how most, if not all, Carnival cruisers feel. My wife and I are gold status, and when this came out, felt betrayed because we can only cruise once or twice a year. So to get to Diamond and Platinum was going to take years, but something we always dreamed of getting to. Thanks for what you do, Coach, because you are talking about how most of us feel. I appreciate that. I really do. We have Ward Ellis. Wow, I wasn't even a subscriber, but I am now. I can't believe they're going after their paying customers so blatantly now. That's what you are, Coach, a paying customer. Keep on talking and debating. We live in a country that is trying to cancel that. I'm a coach myself too, retired, LOL. Oh, and by the way, I too have lost my loyalty to Carnival and have moved on to other lines. Not that I won't cruise Carnival again, but probably never with the loyalty I once had. It's kind of sad. And an emoji with a crying thing. I'll keep watching. Keep up the fight. Much appreciated. Much appreciated. Okay, this one's from Lance Miley. I agree 100% with what you said on the video. In fact, I'm going to go as forward, just say you were the only content creator that is willing to say anything about the way Carnival is messing people up. Good job. I'm not the only one. There's several that disagree with Carnival on this. I know Cruise with Jen has been very open about this. I know Funnelheads, Andrew and I were just live talking about this. And, I have other content creators, not recently, but when it first came out, we did videos together. Cruise Life TV, Carnival Cruise Addicts, North Shore Travelers. We've all, discussed this and said the things that we didn't like about it and stuff. So I'm definitely not the only one. I can tell you that. Here's Gary Robinson and 816. We have 15 under our belt, 16 and 17 booked. We are platinum, but with work related, we won't make diamond in this short time. We're not booking other lines yet, just not booking further cruises. Okay, so they haven't switched to other lines, so maybe they're in a holding pattern, waiting to see if Carnival fixes this. Okay, and this one is from GTJ, which I think is in the comments today. If you're still watching GTJ, this is yours. Coach, I totally agree with you. You were the one who originally said Carnival will knock it out of the park with the new loyalty program. You were absolutely wrong. Yes, I was absolutely wrong. I remember this comment. I replied to it. But you are the one that said that Carnival will blow every other cruise line reward program out of the water. You said Carnival bring a great new rewards program to us. Carnival did the absolute opposite and went the cheapest, most greedy route. And I think I replied to GTJ that, yeah, I mean, I was. I think I just saw it as an opportunity for Carnival to really step up in the cruise line world and have a chance to have all of the cruisers from other lines. They did do the absolute opposite, but I thought, like, what a great business opportunity for them to create a program so great that other people from that don't normally cruise Carnival point at Carnival and say, you see what they're getting? You see what they're getting? I'm going to go over in Carnival because look at all that they're giving their loyal customers. And instead of getting people coming, there's nobody coming to Carnival. There's nobody coming to Carnival from other cruise lines that are loyal cruisers of other cruise lines and looking what Carnival has done with this plan and saying, oh, I'm going to Carnival. Zero. Maybe less than zero. Well, it is less than zero because the only thing you've done, Carnival, is lose loyal customers. Okay. You haven't gained loyal customers from other cruise lines because of this. You've only lost them and they are running out the door by the thousands. I mean, it is the total opposite. I was 110% wrong. And I don't know what the heck was wrong with me putting that faith in you that you were going to do something right. I mean, everybody else was saying, "Oh no, coach, yeah, no, I mean they're going to screw this up. They're cheap, they're this, they're that. You know what? They're not going to do anything like you said." Just think if you'd have done what I said, how great this would be for you now. Instead of all this heat that you're getting, not just from me, but from thousands and thousands and thousands of tens of thousands, maybe hundreds of thousands of people for how bad this is. If you wouldn't have been cheap, if you'd have erred on the side of giving a little too much, you would have had, roses being thrown at you. But you went and got cheap on everybody and greedy and just focused on the dollar signs. And look where you're at now. Now you're losing dollars and you're losing a lot of them. So stop doing that. It's not good for business. Fix this and you'll get some of those dollars back, or you'll keep some of those dollars instead of them blowing off the Lido deck into the sea. Okay. All right. I think that's a good place to end. We are almost 15 minutes past an hour. But before I do that, let me just go back in the comments because of a few of you have checked in that I didn't say hi to. I want to make sure that I do that. Fat Cat to Slim Cat started cruising in 2013, did 12 cruises, and my next one, 13, will be my platinum cruise. So disappointed with this loyalty change. Will likely be my last Carnival cruise. And again, Fat Cat, you are a great example to Slim Cat, now the Slim Cat. You're a great example of somebody Carnival can save. Carnival can keep you on their ships if they do the right thing. If Carnival, if you do the right thing, Slim Cat probably will stay with you. If you don't, Slim Cat is probably leaving. Just one more example of somebody you could keep loyal to you if you do the right thing. Do the right thing. Just like the movie line, right? The Duckman, how hard do you think it will be to get their customers back once they start cruising other lines? That's a very good question. It's going to be hard. It's going to be hard, especially if people enjoy those cruises. The cruise line that I have, I got to admit, I'm excited about it because it's going to be different. Like when I go on a Carnival cruise, I know what to expect. I know exactly how it's going to be. And I'm really interested in it. It's going to be like I'm a first-time cruiser in a sense, and I will be a first-time cruiser on another cruise line. I'm going to be excited. I'm going to be excited to see what they offer and look and check out all the new things and stuff like that. So I'm excited about it. Now, Will I find a cruise line that gives me everything that I enjoy about Carnival? That's the question. But being objective, if I didn't have, my content and all that other stuff, if I just went on the cruise line and that's what I'm going to try to do. I'm going to try to compare them side by side and say, what did I like less or more? And would it be a line that I was just as happy with cruising on in the future? And the more people that go and do that, maybe they were once loyal to Carnival and they only cruise Carnival, but now they check out a couple of these other lines and cruise them because Carnival did this. And then they might say, okay, well, maybe we won't never cruise Carnival again, but we enjoyed this so much, we're going to keep cruising these other lines. And guess what? That's more lost business for Carnival. So I think that Carnival is going to be impacted negatively for this decision for years to come. And they're going to have to re-earn their status. Okay. We talk about re-earning our status by spending a certain amount of money. They're going to have to spend extra money on marketing and rebranding their company to get back and get some other new to the world of cruising customers to fill in some of those seats that would have already been filled in with loyal cruisers had they not screwed this up. So that's a good question. So we'll see what happens in the future. But yeah. Larry Roberts, I'm platinum. I've been loyal to Carnival. I have 2 cruises already paid for with Carnival before the change. After that, I'm going to try new cruise lines. Goodbye, Carnival. There's another one. I understand. North Texas prepper gal. I'm going to Royal next year. Had planned about 14 back-to-backs. Wow. With Carnival, with retired family members. Not happy. Wow. Look at all that money that Carnival would have had just from the North Texas prepper gal and their family. Wow. That's what I'm talking about. I mean, you multiply that times thousands and thousands and thousands, and just think about how much money as an average cruiser we spend, right? And then multiply that by, 1,000, and then 10,000, and then 100,000, and see how much money that is and how much money Carnival is losing. That's why I'm surprised it took them 3 months to figure this out, because they have access to data and they can track stuff by the week through their inside corporation and stuff like that. Maybe they're not losing as much money as I think. And tomorrow morning, we're going to find out. Here's my guess on that, by the way, John. My guess, this is, just an opinion here. My guess is that their earnings are going to be pretty good for this particular quarter, because if you think about it, John shared way back that bookings through the end of 2025 were very strong, right? And you had Celebration Key over the last quarter opening up. And so everybody was so excited. Everybody wanted to go to Celebration Key. So all these people were booking cruises and stuff like that. So they're going to share those earnings. Now, what I'm interested to hear about are the future earnings. So how will it affect their stock price? Well, if people are looking at their stock as an investment and they're focused on current earnings, then I think their stock is going to be fine. And it's not going to go down too much. If people hear that the forecasted bookings and potential earnings and stuff like that are down for whatever reason, well, then their stock could go down. Right now, I'd be scared to invest in Carnival. In fact, if I had to pick, I'd be betting against them, because because of the information I'm getting from everybody. I mean, like I say, 100% of the comments that we've heard are people that are leaving Carnival, canceling bookings, all that, upset with Carnival, 100%. And this is a video these are comments in response to John Healed, who I know everybody loves. So if I'm getting 100% support and comments that are in agreement with what I said, and, to the video that John, and knowing how beloved he is, then that just tells me that, Carnival's in trouble. in the future here if they don't fix this and fix it fast. So, yeah, cruising scene. Agree with everything you're saying. Thank you for that. Roger Evans, I will still sail on Carnival, but before they afforded me the opportunity to hit Diamond, I did book 12,000 in business with other cruise lines. Well, there you go. Yeah. Carter Ross, I think they need to give Platinums another year to achieve Diamond so someone close to the next level can move up. Yeah, I mean, honestly, that's one of the things that I think they need to do better, Carter. When I was saying throw more sugar on it, if they came to me and they said, "Okay, coach, all right, we're done hearing you say bad stuff about Carnival, whatever. Here's the idea we have. How about if we give Platinums another year to achieve Diamond, so some more people can? Is that enough?" And I would say no, that's not enough. It's not enough. Okay, because I would say, I mean, it would be better. It would be better, but again, they're erring on the side of being cheap again, of being greedy again. Okay, don't err on the side of it. No, I would say no. You don't give them another year. You say you just put everything back in place. And again, you've already watered down the perks so much that you're hardly giving anything anyway. So that whatever perks that you get on that loyalty status tier thing, whatever, those are yours forever. Okay. Then because again, it's not much to begin with. It really isn't. It's not much to begin with. So you get both if you're Carnival. So again, Carnival should be happy with this. They get both. They have the rewards program that is going to motivate people to spend more money so they can earn more free stuff, right? Just like you do with your credit cards. If you're like me, you have one credit card and you charge most of your stuff on that credit card because you're trying to build up points or whatever so you can get whatever you want to get with those points, right? People are going to do the same. Once this rewards program hits, they're going to say, "Oh, I can get a massage if I get this many points. I can get 100-minute massage if I get this many points, and I have this many already. So if I just spend this and this and this, I'll have my free 100-minute massage." And people, the rewards program will work for that, and that will benefit Carnival. But again, it's also going to benefit Carnival if people keep their statuses. And if people know, okay, I'm Diamond, so I'm always going to get to be, one of the first in line for priority boarding or whatever. I'm happy with that. I get some free laundry. I'm happy with that. So the people that are working themselves up to Diamond or up the tiers to get the little bit of perks better or whatever, they get to do that. And you get to keep those customers happy too. Isn't that what you want to do as a company, is keep your customers happy? Then that's what you do. Okay, you don't overthink it. Don't overthink it. And that would be my advice to Carnival if I was in one of those boardrooms of the beard. Stop overthinking it. Stop being penny wise and dollar dumb. Remember, your customers are your dollars. So stop thinking about how you can steal pennies from them and worry more about keeping them happy so they can keep putting dollars in your pocket. All right. And that's what I would say. So with that, I'm going to end, but if there's somebody that posted in the comments and I forgot to mention your name, I truly appreciate you being on here. If you are new to the channel, please hit the like button, but more importantly, hit the subscribe button with the notification bell on. And so we can start, working shoulder to shoulder to change Carnival's mind here and get them to not only include diamonds, but platinums, gold, go back, maybe add a tier, do something to fix this. So everybody can kind of be like, okay, Carnival, all right, we got you now. That's what you should have done from the start, but appreciate that you made it right in the end. So that's all I got. Happy Sunday, everybody. Some of you took a break from watching football to watch me, which I can't believe, but thank you for that. And I'm going to go watch some football now. So I will see y'all later and enjoy the last little bit of the weekend. And we'll see you on Tuesday on my normally scheduled live. Everybody take care. Bye. Peace.